And I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
No,
But it's hard not to.
it's hard not to.
I mean, you really couldn't imagine the horror. It's just so crazy to imagine.
Ryan Reynolds is now facing a wave of public disgrace after Scarlett Johansson has come forward, revealing his manipulative and disturbing behavior from their past.
I didn't expect that.
She remained silent for years, but it seems Ryan's sneaky behind-the-scenes sabotage finally pushed her too far. And now, she's burning the Deadpool clown persona to the ground.
It goes too fragile.
And this time, it's hitting harder than ever. Because Scarlett Johansson never caused a scene after her divorce from Ryan Reynolds. Not when tabloids ran wild with rumors, not when SNL mocked their breakup, and not even when Blake Lively stepped into the Hollywood spotlight next to him.
And I have so much.
Probably smart though.
My brain is too fragile. I'm like a delicate flower.
I like the self-awareness.
I have enough anxiety.
You know what my tip is? Don't read the comments.
That would give me so much anxiety.
She moved on, kept her career spotless, and remained completely silent. Until now. Just days before her directorial debut, Eleanor the Great premieres at Cannes on May 20th, 2025, Scarlett has finally broken her silence. And it's the last thing Ryan expected. In a Vanity Fair interview, when Justin Baldoni's name came up, Scarlett laughed loudly and called it weird timing.
She says this is weird. I think it's delicious.
She didn't throw shade or assign blame, but she made it clear that Baldoni's Wayfarer Studios was fully supportive during her film's production. The same Baldoni now entangled in a $400 million defamation lawsuit with Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, and the New York Times. The timing wasn't just odd, it was explosive. Scarlett didn't say much, but what she did say was enough to send Ryan's PR team into full-blown panic mode.
A, I love that Vanity Fair asked her about it, and B, I love that she responded.
What most people don't know is that the moment the interview went live, Scarlett began receiving disturbing phone calls. According to insiders on her team, these weren't standard media inquiries. They were anonymous late-night calls laced, with veiled threats and subtle warnings that her career could be derailed. Her team suspects they came from individuals within Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's PR orbit. People with everything to lose if Scarlett dared to break the script.
I can't do this. I'm too fragile.
I
have
actually
so much
appreciate
anxiety
that.
about other things. I can't.
She told her reps she's done letting others control her story. These weren't just harmless calls. Her publicist confirmed that Scarlett was being warned she could be subpoenaed in the Baldoni case. Hollywood insiders were already whispering that Eleanor the Great might be blacklisted from future festivals if she didn't publicly distance herself from Baldoni. But Scarlett refused.
The Cannes Film Festival just kicked off, and Scarlett Johansson is there with her directorial fudge. Derek fudge.
Behind the scenes, moves were quietly made to brand Scarlett's film too risky for award circuits. An insider from a Cannes committee revealed that Blake's reps even lodged informal complaints, warning against platforming a film co-produced by a man under legal scrutiny. The hypocrisy was glaring. Blake was out promoting Another Simple Favor, the very film she reportedly tried to shut down when her issues with Baldoni surfaced. Yet she still had the audacity to criticize others for working with him. One mini.
What we're doing. And we also make terrible videos.
The pressure didn't end there. Internal emails between PR executives leaked by a disgruntled assistant revealed plans to create media distractions aimed at preventing Scarlett from gaining sympathy. There were even mentions of dredging up, old relationship baggage if she didn't fall in line, and that baggage was none other than Ryan Reynolds. One mini.
Yeah, it is distracting. It is distracting. It's a
fun,
big
though.
distraction.
Scarlett's team responded by going silent for 48 hours, but during that time, a firm decision was made. No damage control, no fake Unity posts, no forced joint statements. Scarlett would speak the truth, not in a press conference, not in an apology, video, but through actions. She went ahead with promoting Eleanor the Great without censoring her connection to Baldoni. She praised him for standing by her film when no one else would. She made it clear she wasn't endorsing his case, but she wasn't abandoning him either. Ryan, meanwhile, reportedly had a complete meltdown. Insiders from the Deadpool 3 set said he stormed off during filming after someone joked that Scarlett's movie might beat his in Oscar buzz. His name had never been linked directly to the film until now. Suddenly, media outlets were tying Scarlett's comeback and Oscar buzz to his name. For a man who has spent years curating a beloved husband, father, and comedian image, this was a narrative collapse he hadn't planned for. What stung the most was Scarlett's quiet confidence. She didn't accuse him of anything directly, but she didn't defend him either. In private, she told her publicist, "I was manipulated once. It's not happening again." That line made its way to a few select reporters, and just like that, the perfect Reynolds Lively image began to crack. It wasn't a tabloid frenzy. It wasn't an explosive tell-all. It was one sentence, cold, sharp, and honest. Blake Lively was said to be furious behind the scenes, not just because of the Scarlett situation, but because the press was shifting the spotlight. Instead of focusing on her survivor narrative in the Baldoni feud, people were talking about how she and Ryan might have bullied others into silence for years. Suddenly, Scarlett wasn't just a director promoting a film, she was the inconvenient truth they couldn't control. The last time Scarlett was this close to a media storm was during her divorce. Back then, she chose dignity over drama. Now she's choosing clarity over silence. With Lisa Bloom warning that Scarlett might be called to testify in Baldoni's case, the stakes are rising fast. If the film flops, Baldoni can blame Blake's allegations. If it succeeds, his legal argument crumbles. Either way, Scarlett is right in the middle of it. Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds married in September 2008. On paper, they were Hollywood's golden couple, both successful, both adored by the press. But behind the carefully posed red carpets and glowing headlines, insiders say the dynamic was far from equal. By 2010, just 2 years into the marriage, cracks began to show. When they announced their divorce in December of that year, both issued vague, amicable statements. But sources close to Johansson now say the truth was buried beneath years of emotional control. In a 2023 episode of the Goop podcast, Gwyneth Paltrow casually brought up Ryan, prompting Scarlett to call him a good guy. The quote was recycled across celebrity blogs as proof that their relationship ended on peaceful terms. But a Vanity Fair contributing editor who interviewed Scarlett in April 2025 told a different story off the record. According to her, Scarlett never denied that Ryan presented well publicly, but she confided that he was emotionally condescending and power-obsessed. A longtime assistant who worked with Scarlett between 2009 and 2012 described her as visibly dimmed during that period. Scarlett, who had just come off Oscar-nominated performances in Matchpoint and Vicky Cristina Barcelona, began turning down high-profile roles. A rejected lead in Black Swan, a part that eventually went to Natalie Portman, was one of them. The official reason was scheduling conflicts, but emails revealed in a 2021 studio hack referenced Scarlett being pressured to deprioritize filming in Q1 due to spousal issues. The timing lines up with Ryan's career acceleration. In 2010, he was cast as Green Lantern and started publicly angling for bigger Marvel recognition, which would later result in his role as Deadpool. Multiple sources confirm he was fixated on securing a franchise, something Scarlett already had in her role as Natasha Romanoff in the MCU. A Marvel casting director told The Ankler anonymously in 2022 that Ryan couldn't stand the idea that she was ahead of him. The final straw reportedly came when Scarlett accepted a lead in a 2011 indie project, Under the Skin, a film Ryan believed was too art house and would distract from their public image. He allegedly told her team the film's subject matter, alien seduction and identity crisis, was off-brand for the wife of a superhero. Scarlett refused to step back. Just weeks later, the divorce was announced on December 14, 2010. By mid-2011, she had relocated to New York, cut ties with several mutual Hollywood contacts, and began rebuilding her professional circle independently. Despite the clean press narrative, those who knew her say she described the marriage as a 3-year PR campaign where she was cast as supportive wife number 1. Ryan, meanwhile, remarried quickly, tying the knot with Blake Lively in 2012 and leaned hard into his wholesome, snarky dad image. Scarlett said nothing until now. On February 10, 2025, Saturday Night Live aired a sketch that had the internet dissecting every frame. Written by head writer and Weekend Update co-anchor Colin, Jost, the skit was titled Crisis Control. It featured a smug, overconfident superhero played by guest host Pedro Pascal, who wore a red leather suit with a gold maple leaf emblem, a not-so-subtle nod to Reynolds' Canadian roots. The superhero's nemesis wasn't a villain, it was his own wife, a struggling actress played by Cecily Strong, who kept getting manipulated into leaving her roles for the sake of his public image. The twist: every time the wife tried to assert herself, the superhero character would deliver faux empowering lines like, "Go be brilliant, babe, just not today. My brand's trending." The audience laughed, but Twitter exploded. Reddit. Threads under R Live from New York and RRR Focolebs racked up over 9,000 comments within 48 hours, with headlines like SNL just eviscerated Ryan Reynolds without saying his name. His monologue that introduced the sketch didn't help either. Jost joked, "Some people say marriage is about compromise. Others say it's about making sure your spouse doesn't take your screen time." Fans familiar with the Reynolds-Johansson history didn't need subtitles. The reference was clear. Scarlett never commented publicly, but a former PR strategist for Johansson leaked a conversation held days after the episode aired. According to the source, Scarlett allegedly told her team, "Ryan is a joke who thinks he's a legacy, but he's just a brand with abs." The quote was never officially confirmed, but it began circulating among entertainment journalists and was quoted indirectly in a Vulture piece published on March 2nd, 2025. The reason this skit hit so hard wasn't just the content, it was the context. Colin Jost, Scarlett's husband since 2020, had never publicly addressed her past marriage. But in this one calculated strike, he used the platform he knew best to flip the narrative. According to backstage staff at 30 Rock, they had been sitting on that sketch for months, waiting for the right guest host and timing to deliver it. When Ryan's team was asked for comment by Entertainment Tonight, they declined. But a source close to Reynolds told The Wrap that Ryan was absolutely livid and considered it an ambush using national TV.